Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to At the Gates. I think things are going pretty well here. So we're just sort of headed in the general direction of weapon production, right? That's the key to victory, no matter which of the two victory conditions we want. If we're going to go military, obviously we need good weapons, and if we're going to go for the cultural victory, we also need a whole lot of weapons. So, headed in the general direction of steel production, I suppose. We are still looking around for a good spot to put down a kingdom. I love all of these tightly grouped deposits of various types, but I'm definitely nervous about the Huns. Maybe that's not fair. Maybe I'm like unreasonably biased by the little bit that I know about Attila the Hun, but being over here would make me nervous. So I guess let's just keep scouting. The other thing I want to do, hopefully pretty soon, is get our gregarious guy back in the settlement, right? Because the gregarious trait seems to be really good and powerful. But we need food production really badly. I suppose it's a caravan turn. Maybe we just buy our way out of food problems. Yeah, I kind of think that's where we're going to end up here. Now, obviously, we do have use for oil. We just finished training, or just finished researching the Guildmaster, right? It takes 10 parchment to make a Guildmaster. We have 9 turns of 2.1 production per turn. So we're going to end up at 31 if we run these cows all the way out. We need 25 for the Kingdom Declaration, so we don't actually have enough. Right, I didn't already train anybody as a Guildmaster, did I? We have the other 2 honor professions. Yeah, a Feastmaster and a Priest. So, we should probably buy some parchment. We could just go and trap more parchment, though. Yeah, you know, I'm not going to stress about it. We have animals nearby. We can handle this. So I'm motivated to buy food, because we're just barely holding steady on food. There's going to be a winter... How soon? Oh, good. The time it is appears behind the caravan window. Soon, then. Very, very soon. What else? Like, it is potentially the case that we need cloth, but we have the Trapper. The Trapper can handle this. And we certainly don't need clan expansion anytime soon. So then oil and alcohol are the next 2 things I'm thinking. We probably don't have an immediate need for alcohol, but we do need some oil, don't we? Because we're going to want to be able to heal the wounds of those units. Alright, can I get to 120 treasure? You generate 56 treasure in order to make it there. Can I do that? Yeah, we totally can. We're going to sell off a lot of our stuff, though. Well, you know, we don't really need timber. We have timber, like, the timber guy's doing his thing. We can get more timber. I'm going to go ahead and sell all of our timber. That's going to cover most of it. And then we can sell a little bit of iron as well. Doesn't need to be much. Alright, let's buy all that. And then do we want to buy food? I think the answer is yes. We have an iron mine going, and we don't actually have a ton of uses for the iron yet. How much food do we actually go through in a turn? We're eating 6.6. So, if we bought the full supply of either one of these things, that would give us a ton of time. That seems a little unlikely, but we could buy... I mean, what if I'm just going to sell all the iron, and we'll just buy that much food. There we go. Okay, now we're good. Should be good for a while, anyway. Okay, studying professions. So we want to pull the gregarious guy back inside. What do we want him to do when he goes back in? We have a gatherer? You are a gatherer, right? Can I not get a tooltip here? Alright, gotta click. Yes, we have a gatherer headed for this honey. Do we have a gathery type profession that increases honey? At the cost of 20 timber, we can make a beekeeper. Well, that's certainly interesting. The other option, of course, is to just make our guildmaster now, right? Pull you in, make the guildmaster, suffer through the winter, but then have a ton of money next time the caravan comes back. If I wanted to upgrade the caravan, we're talking about 40 treasure, so that's not happening this time then. Right, we could sell weapons, I suppose. If we sold weapons and... if we sold weapons and all of our tools, that generates 39, and then like 1 horse gets us the rest of the way. Because next time the caravan comes back, we're going to be pretty rich. I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm gonna really lean in on this. Sell all of these. I mean, we don't really... I'm going to sell both the horses. I don't have any use for horses that requires 2 horses. Like, if we find that we want to do something with horses, we're going to have a real source of them worked out. Alright, so let's just sell up to 41. Get the caravan upgrading as well. I think that's worthwhile. This is going to be a gold-heavy game for us, so we are going to go for the Guildmaster move on the Gatherer, which I suppose means you want to stay out for 1 more turn. Then we have you walk back next turn, and then we can start the training the turn after, except I don't have the timber. Okay, you keep gathering until I have 20 timber, right? No, wait. I'm getting myself all confused. The timber was for if we were going to make a beekeeper. What we need for a guildmaster is the cloth, or the parchment, which we totally have. Okay. And that's going to be giving us 12 treasure per turn, which will make it very easy to buy lots of cool stuff from the caravan. Alright, so study a profession... I guess I don't know what, then. Uses for the iron. We already have Toolmaker. Toolmaker's pretty good. Maybe I should just research something in this tier to let us move up to the next group. So Anvil Makers are good at making... No, sorry, they support tool and weapon makers. Smelters let us make iron out of coal. And there's some things for which we need normal armor, right? Yeah, let's pick up armor smiths. I don't remember what it was, but there was something for which I needed normal armor last time, and I didn't have a natural source of it. Okay, so we're probably good on food for a while. We still don't really know where we're going kingdom-wise. I mean, we have a lot of territory that we haven't seen. Or rather, there's a lot of territory near us that we haven't seen. I think I could probably split these 2 up now that they're done fighting. Because they're just scouts at this point. I'm not going to use them for any kind of combat until they have had the opportunity to come home and heal. Alright, so we got some animals, we got some berries, we got some neutrals. I'm going to get up on that hill with those animals and get a little bit more vision. Okay, this isn't too bad. So it's going to be about... What do I need to... I don't need anything to make... Yeah, okay. I don't need anything to make the Guildmaster transition, except the ability to train. Alright, so now you're in here. I guess I could have left him to gather for 1 more turn. For some reason, I was thinking he was going to run out of move and not be able to re-enter the settlement. Alright, we can now train... We have blacksmiths, so we're making tools. So yeah, getting rid of our tools is fine. You need to... Help me explore up this way. Oh, right. Can't move adjacent to the neutral. Just trying to keep getting vision over here. You guys are getting trained in the discipline of... Hold on. Hold on. You can get mad if I do that? Ah, you will get mad if I force you into a profession outside of agriculture. But... if I do this, is it just going to generate a desire that we could then satisfy by pushing you back into agriculture? Maybe. Okay, can't be a surveyor yet. We need tools. Yeah, I totally forgot that they were in agriculture for a good reason. Well... we could have them just go back out and start reaping again. That's fine, I suppose. Hold on. Really need to, I guess, make you a beekeeper. I don't know that being a beekeeper for a super long time is a great idea. We can make honey from... Or we can make alcohol from the honey that we're gathering. We will eventually need alcohol for Masters of Ceremony, if we decide to do that. Or we could just use the alcohol for what it's normally for, which is to say, temporarily increasing the mood of clans. We can also sell it. It is kind of an advanced resource. It probably sells pretty well. We need that honey for food. But we're going to get sources of food. Alcohol is a refined resource that probably sells pretty well a fair amount of the time. We'll also pick up harvesters, which is just double our honey income. I guess there's a conflict there, because obviously we will have to spend tools to train our harvester, which means that we would not have tools for the surveyor play that we want to make soon. Yeah, I'm gonna go make alcohol. Let's train in winemaking. So that is that a high enough level profession? This is a level 3 profession. So we wouldn't want to spend time disciplining you up. Might just produce treasure for a turn. It's gonna be a 2-turn train. If I were to train you in your discipline, it would cost a single parchment. Yeah, sure. Let's do that instead. Alright. An Adelhard desires something. They want to go inside. Which one are you? Sorry, dog. You're just gonna have to keep working through it. We'll bring him in eventually, but this is not a good time for that. Hoping for a little bit more vision from being up here. Alright, so now... Sorry, no, not you. Now you have become the winemaker. And we are still a couple turns off of being able to do the surveyor thing, unfortunately. Okay, now that we have that, we could head toward ale maker. Doesn't really seem all that good. Oil pressers. Oil pressers probably a thing we should know. Not a ton of ways to make oil. There's so many ways to produce alcohol. Okay, up another tier, you get really efficient at it. Alright, let's make, those production of all farms. That seems pretty alright. Let's get oil presser, though. That's the thing. I don't know that we have an immediate use for it, but it's the thing we will want to have for certain. Okay, I'm seeing some interesting stuff over here. Mineral deposits. Maybe we want to move the settlement westward to make our kingdom. Whoa, okay, that was a real cascade of sound effects that just occurred there. Okay, this is promising. I'll accept that we hit the edge of the land. Still, though, I think this is looking like a pretty good direction. I'm just gonna have you hang out here on this tile where there is some level of supply. I need a couple more turns. So what am I gonna do? We'll just produce treasure, right? Like I don't really have a strong reason to train anybody up. Yeah, I guess we'll just produce treasure for a minute. Until we have the tools that we need to get our surveyor going, and I'm going to be so happy to have a surveyor. We've got an aggressive, violent clan, so we need to get them the hell out of the settlement. But also, they're going to be, like, really good at fighting. That's very interesting. Let's train you in something red. I guess we could train them as a hunter for now. Make them something else later. No sense in just raw training them, though. Let's give them a discipline. Yeah, part of this is I need to get you out of the settlement before you cause some major problems. Alright, let's check out what's up here. You are probably just going to have to cross these snowy hills, unfortunately. So, if we were going to make our military unit guy here into something a little bit better, Men-at-Arms only require 1 supply. The problem we were having with the Knights partly was that they require 2 supply, I think. That's part of why it was so hard to move them around. So Men-at-Arms have 30 power, but only require 1 supply. We have to get normal armor and steel weapons. Cataphracts. That's just, like, not on my list of dudes to create. There are military units that I do not have access to. Are there... I know there's some military units down here. No, it's really just the catapulters, I guess. And the ships. So yeah, Men-at-Arms might be a useful thing to have. 30 power as compared to the Lancers, 15... It seems like a good all-purpose military unit. And it doesn't require me to find a source of war horses. Okay. We're still going to go Hunter temporarily, but we got to find something for that unit to convert into later. I think it's probably only supposed to play the Gathering sound once, not once for each unit that you have. It's sort of just overlaid on top of each other. Seems like a non-ideal way to do that. Okay, that's a border. Gonna have to encamp. You are gonna have to become temporarily a hunter. We do have animals that have to be identified, right? I've met the Saxons. Alright. Get ye beyond the river. You know what's good for me, you'll offer me a token of your appreciation. I'm not doing that. I'm a little bothered by the fact that this dude is in the direction of the place that we intend to settle. A global reputation is -2. That's true. We did just give stuff to Attila. Maybe I want to not give stuff to this guy. Wondering if I can make myself a little bit less attractive as a target for the Huns, and then maybe we just fight this dude. I'm gonna refuse. Actually, he's disgusted by me. That guy didn't give me free stuff. Gross. Okay, now we can make that surveyor. A lot of exploration that still needs to be done, and an awful lot of deposits that need to be identified. Let's start by moving this way. You have to chill for a turn. Honestly, it seems to me like there's not a lot of incentive to go for a military victory. And I don't know if this is the intent behind this system, but the way movement works with the supply and like constantly having to stop, especially if the weather gets even the tiniest bit bad. If it like rains slightly, your units like freak out and have a total breakdown. It seems like there's not a lot of reason to go for a military victory just because it's such a pain in the ass to move units around. Like, it's almost certainly going to be the case that a military victory is slower than just doing the Magister Militum thing. Especially, like, even if you don't actually need to take more turns, just moving your units around is not a particularly fast thing in terms of human minutes. I guess we're just producing treasure for now, right? In 2 turns, we're going to have another clan who might need training, but I definitely don't want to mess with any of these guys. And we're only losing about a food worth of, or a turn worth of food each turn, which is pretty good. How are you going on this deposit? 14 turns left. Oh, we're certainly going to be rich. You know what? I was going to have you just sort of generally explore, but why don't we go over here? Actually, I want to cancel your long distance move order because I'm not sure how you will behave in regards to supply. Units seem to be mostly pretty terrible at managing their own supply unless you have them standing in one place doing things. Okay, I am seeing a lot of deposits in this area. Like, something over hereabouts is maybe interesting for the kingdom. We could try to train somebody up toward 10. Study ourselves and upgrade to a profession, and then build somebody toward getting it for free. So +2 treasure per turn for each clan in a settled profession and honor is a lot of extra treasure. You could get an additional 10 knowledge. You're producing only 20, right? So that's a pretty significant bump. And then these guys, additional 10 fame per turn, and this is going to be the same thing. Yeah, so we could do one of those. Oh, sorry, Honor Guard's not what I have Feastmasters giving me fame. Currently 10 fame per turn, which we could double with upgrades. We could research Honor Guard with the intent of upgrading our Feastmaster to Honor Guard, but I suppose, really, the thing that would make the most sense would be to just bump him up to Masters of Ceremony, since we have that unlocked. What do Quartermasters do again? Quartermasters allow me to funnel more weapons into troops to make them tougher, right? That's not bad. Or maybe we want to go like really hard into green stuff to get some of our food going. If we had salt, we could try some preserver stuff. Also, how much wine does it take to actually boost somebody's mood? 5 alcohol for 12 turns of increased approval, which generates a 1/4 increase in resource production. Honestly, that's not amazing. I'm going to hold the alcohol to sell, mostly. So, all that being the case, what do I get out of upgrades to surveyors? 1 turn off of surveying, or +1 move. Well, those things are relatively interesting. I'm going to research Masters of Ceremony, I think. We can't do this right now, but we may want to be able to do it in the near future. And here, we are going to... I hope the new clan is somebody who it will be reasonable to train up into a guildmaster, because I really would love to be making all that money. Caravan in 3 turns. I'm just going to produce treasure for 1 more turn, and then we'll see what the new clan is. We have loggers, who are afraid of fire. So they definitely don't want to be guildmasters. They've started as loggers, which are the ones who can construct logging camps. Well, alright, I'd be lying if I said I was, like, overjoyed about that. Who needs explicit orders? You probably need to come check out down here. You are going to have to encamp for a turn until you get your act together. You guys are okay for now. Okay, so we just have coast up here. So my goal here is to kind of feel out this area. Lots and lots and lots of deposits. I'm not going to move you up onto those mountains. Your supply exhausted. You should encamp for a turn. You guys don't really want to train in anything. You kind of just want to go out and do logging. I'm assuming that building the logging camp costs the same 20 timber as most things do? No? I mean, obviously, you could be like, well, it should probably cost no timber since the whole goal is to get timber. But I could totally see this game making you make a wood collector first. Alright, so no timber cost. We could send this guy out. What's our current logger's deal? He doesn't like to switch disciplines. And we kind of don't want him in the settlement, so he also should not become a guildmaster. That's really crummy. It's going to take us a long time to be able to actually make a guildmaster at this rate. Is there somebody in the settlement who might do with being retrained? You can't become a guildmaster. You've had some bad luck here. Alright, well, let's send this guy out and figure out where we want to do some logging. Up here doesn't look bad. We put him right there. He's getting 4 tiles worth of trees. Alright, yeah. I know it's going to take you 2 turns to ford the river, but I think that's the right way to do that. It would not be faster to have him walk around. And I'm just going to produce treasure until the caravan comes. Then once the caravan has come, we will decide if we want to go into doing something else. Training guys up in their disciplines to try to unlock upgrades and stuff. Alright, there's denunciations going on. None of this really seems super relevant to my cause. Okay, you need to encamp for a turn. Ugh, moving around in trees is the worst. You have to go and forage on an animal. I think we should go ahead and do it on the horses because we're moving away from those horses. Alright, your foraging thing ran out, so we need you to go and forage something new. Probably these berries. You have to chill out for a turn because it's just the worst thing in the universe to move when there are trees nearby. I get that. And I know I said I wanted to fill out this area, but I got a little bit of wanderlust there. It would probably be a good idea to have some kind of idea how we're going to get stone, or at least get stone blocks, before we put down the kingdom. You have to encamp. Supply is constantly exhausted. Everybody's supply is always exhausted. Yeah, see, this is kind of what I was talking about. Like, it sucks to move around in the winter, and it sucks to move around in the summer, and a lot of the time it sucks to move around in times between the winter and the summer. Just like any victory that is based on you taking units places is going to be a little awkward. Alright, so we have access to a lot of cool stuff here, thanks to all of our upgrades. We're probably cool on food. We could buy some fine cloth if I want to generate a little money. Or we could just throw an upgrade on this caravan so that the caravan has the ability to bring us steel weapons and tools. Yeah, and then just focus on our economy and maybe kind of screw everything else. We just buy enough steel weapons and tools to win the game. You know, honestly, that sounds like a thing we could do. So, who would we pursue an upgrade on first? Honestly, Guildmaster probably is the right play. But we can't do that. So if we're going to train somebody else in a discipline... Oh man, also, did we determine that when you pick up the settlement and move it, it forces you to retrain all of your settled people? Did that happen last time, or am I misremembering? I don't know. I guess let's push up. So we're currently training a new Fame clan, right? Or a new Fame profession. Do we also want to train the new Knowledge profession? I'm wondering if we maybe will leave priests. Leave that guy a priest for a long time, so maybe getting a priest upgrade is smart. Yeah, I guess let's grab a priest upgrade. And we will train up Clan Godefroy. It probably won't be terribly expensive, right? Yeah, that wasn't too bad. I don't know if I necessarily want to train them all the way to 10, because the cost does go up with each tier, but we could afford to do that. So we're already on our way to a new source of cloth. Oh, right, they wanted to go inside. We don't want them to be inside, but I can make them go inside for a little bit. So you need to go here. You need to get out of the forest, because it is the worst. You were headed toward this animal... Sort of, eventually. Actually, maybe we should have the logger. You know what? It doesn't matter. He's going toward enough wood. I'm not going to stress about it too much. What is the... Hold on. Hold on, you. Let me move around a little bit, identify, or, locate, potentially, some more deposits. Alright, I suppose the thing we're most looking for is a couple of different types of minerals. So let's prioritize identifying the mineral deposit. Alright, if we were to train them... Sorry. If we were to train them up to 9... 6 parchment that time? That's pretty harsh. But, like, there's a real chance they hit 10 that way, right? I'm gonna do it. We're gonna get enough parchment. We'll be fine. Okay. You, I'm going to cancel your foraging. We're going to go ahead and take you inside. I don't know what I'm going to do with you. We're certainly not leaving you indoors for very long, but we'll move you back in and we'll figure it out. This guy could, I guess, go and explore this way. I mean, we want him outside the settlement. It's already trained for combat. Like, I kind of... Let's come back near the settlement, I guess, because at some point we're going to have to actually heal him. Oh, right. Control. I totally forgot about the whole concept of control for building structures. Because it's been a little while since we had to do it. Alright, people are shouting at each other in a way that, like, just extremely does not concern me, and I wish I was not looped in on. So I don't particularly need you guys to be loggers, I suppose. I just need you to not be the thing I want you to be. But we could make them something else in the crafting profession. What if we did pull them back inside and we made them into... Boy, none of this stuff is very good. Certainly don't have a use for weavers. Potters would be pretty good right now. Honestly, probably what I'm going to do with that other guy is bring him inside the settlement and then just kick him back out and make him gather wood again. So yeah, never mind. I totally forgot about that. It doesn't matter much. We're not actually using any of the timber we've been gathering in the first place, so it doesn't hurt too much to have our source of it cut off. And yeah, we're just going to continue to produce treasure. This time it's not even like I'm just killing time. This time we actually do want the treasure. Like, we know what we're going to do with it. So we are going to aggressively pursue the acquisition of steel, weapons, and armor from the caravan. You just have to get back to town. You... Right, I have to do a goofy thing because of the stupid neutrals. Well, we'll get rid of them eventually. Oh, hey, that's not a neutral. Okay, here we go. Finally in a place where we can start generating stuff again. So we're going to get some cloth first, enough to be able to heal our archer, and then it looks like our archer is actually going to be needed, potentially. Okay, so now we have a potter for that guy to become. Plus, we almost certainly needed to unlock the next tier of crafting anyway, because that's where all the ways to make steel blocks are. What about an archer upgrade? We're probably not going to have archers forever. Spend 5 armor to give him 2 power, or 10 weapons to give him 2 power. We don't actually have either of those things, and we're not anywhere near being able to level you up. So we don't really have a useful honor thing to research right now. Except priest upgrades. Did I not... Did I pull us off of researching that upgrade earlier or something? We were researching this, weren't we? Or maybe I just thought I was going to and then I changed my mind, because I do that. I don't know if you guys are familiar. I do that sometimes. Alright, what have we here? That should go our way, I think, right? Isn't this guy just... Yeah, that guy's a total scrub. Okay, we identified a stone deposit. That's a good thing to have found. Charcoal or stone both would have worked, but I'm glad that we found one of them. So was that bandit from a camp, or I don't actually know how the bandit spawning mechanics work. It's possible that I don't have to worry about there being a camp just because I saw a bandit, but that's what's happening right now. Is I'm worried about there being a camp because I saw a bandit. Alright, study a profession. Do we want to just grab the other priest upgrade? I'm probably not going to do this ever. This could be the one we take for free, I guess. If that guy does manage to cap. He's producing not enough experience to even see turn over turn. And we do not get a readout of his experience gain rate or how much he needs to hit the next level. If I get him really drunk, he'll be gaining double XP, right? Okay, good. Found that to-do tooltip. I'm pretty sure it said XP is doubled for clans that are happy. So that might be a good reason to let them drink, but what if we just sold all of this alcohol? Okay, we've got an impatient hoarder. Likelihood of having double desires is doubled, but he has no traits that make me want to take him out of the settlement. So let's train him up in honor, and he's going to become our money-making guy. So excited for this to finally be the case. So I'm going to actually have you wait one turn. Right, you have to be on the settlement tile to do this, but I don't want you to be on the settlement tile any longer than you absolutely have to be. Why don't you encamp for a turn? You are coming home because you want to be warm and indoors, which I get. Surveyor is better at getting vision than these other units are. Well, I have to say, somewhere over here for settling down and making a kingdom doesn't seem horrible. You got that stone deposit, we got animals not too far out. Like, it wouldn't take too many watchtowers to make this reasonable. Alright, so do we want to start thinking about Guildmaster upgrading then? That's an upgrade we theoretically could buy. And alright, let's see what the caravan brings us this time. We have 100 treasure to play with, plus some resources that are worth selling. Attila of the Huns has an important matter to discuss. He thinks that I am a villain. Our relationship level is 0. That's what 0 looks like. You are a villain. Okay, steel weapons. 10 of them are available. No steel armor. There are some steel tools available. That's interesting. Also salt, but the salt is extremely expensive. Well, we should buy all the weapons, right? If we have steel weapons but no steel tools, we could use the weapons to make a man-at-arms. This is a very expensive purchase. What does the alcohol actually sell for? The alcohol sells for 5 each. Hey, that's not bad. So, we're going to sell all the alcohol off. We'd have to make 200 more money in order to... almost 200 more money in order to buy all these steel weapons. I don't think we have... do we have that? Let's see. I can generate 165 by selling all our tools. We have active tool production going, so that doesn't hurt too much. And then we can just sell, like, iron or timber or something to make up the rest. Because we should do it, right? We should have the steel tools. We still are definitely going to, like, head in the direction of having our own steel weapon and armor production going, but we can speed up the process considerably. Alright, so you need to go inside and be retrained. You need to go inside to just calm down for a turn. Get nice and warm. And you, we actually have the ability to heal you now, so you step over here and hit heal. And unfortunately, you are parked on the settlement for 1 turn. Hopefully, he does not freak out and try to kill anybody during that turn. Here's a bandit camp. We found it. I knew it had to exist. Well, my hunters are currently pretty weak. Don't think we really want to go into battle. Just keep looking around. Source of animals for you to identify. I mean, there's definitely a lot of stuff going on over here. Alright, so you are going to get retrained into pottery. I'm just going to do that right now. We'll pick up the Guildmaster thing in a minute. Alright, and this should get our timber collector all calmed down so that he can go back out in the world and timber collect. Yep, okay, cool. Get out of the settlement, you lazy bum. You need to head in the direction of that bandit camp, because that's going to have to get dealt with. Let's just identify those animals. Okay, now that you're doing that... This will double our... Effectively, this is doubling our food production, because currently all of our food production is gatherer-based. We will soon have a hunter potentially gathering food as well. Your job is to become a guildmaster. It's going to take a minute. Why is it going to take you 11 turns? Training time increased by half if it is at least 3 turns. Okay, well, let's spend some cloth on some parchment rather on fixing that problem. And you should stop foraging for cloth and start foraging for parchment again. Alright. Then, what are we at now here? What are we looking to next? Probably block cutters, because we have a source of stone. This is something we're going to have value for. Alright, people are praising each other. None of that stuff matters to me. And if it doesn't matter to me, in what sense can it be said to matter? Really, right? We have identified a herd of sheep. Cool. Hunt those sheep. Right? We're probably... We could still settle over here. Well, you know what? Hunt the sheep for now. I'm not going to hunt the deposit totally out. But we do need more food. Tell me what this is. There's a lot of, like, semi-promising areas over here. Nothing that I would say is the equal of the area that we settled in last time. But there's a lot of places over here where there's a lot of stuff. We could, at the very least, move over there temporarily. Seems like there's not a huge reason to, like, move your settlement around a lot, though. But, like, the game is almost entirely economic. There's very little reason to engage in military stuff, except if you want to get the military victory, and even then, it's really only to do the march to Rome. So yeah, I don't know. I think the systems as designed here do not really incentivize you to be nomadic for very long. You spend a lot of time being nomadic, you're losing the benefit of all your settled stuff while you're moving around, and the settled stuff is really powerful. Alright, people are shouting at each other. Again, I don't need to know about this. This does not affect me at all. Do not tell me about your stupid, petty fights. Alright, Forager. Well, we have run out of ability to make alcohol. There's not much for it except to go and identify some more deposits, right? Okay, let's do that. Let's identify the deposits over here, because I think we're more likely to settle in this region than anywhere else around us. Alright, so it would be 5 turns to be Guildmaster still. I think we can do one more training, right? It shouldn't be too expensive for Parchment. Yeah, alright. And then it's going to take Parchment to train him in the profession, remember. Alright, so now that we have access to this stuff, non-meat types of food. Wow, production increased by 2.5x. We don't have any boards. But we could have boards. We could get boards. Engineers increase production from all buildings by half. Well, sorry, all stone block buildings by half. Also have a very high training cost. Thing is, we're headed in that direction, right? Eventually. Yeah. Cooper might be more relevant, though. At least sooner. They require boards every turn, and they require tools. So we would need a source of boards. Wood splitters can turn timber into boards straight up. Hewers up here are really good at it, but require steel tools. You know what? Let's do wood splitters first. Our winemaker can maybe become... Oh no, our winemaker wants to stay in agriculture, that's right. I guess that's a good reason to maybe look for another agriculture profession to train up into. We don't have coal. We don't have the steel tools to train into either of the other things on this tier. Briners can turn food into food if I have some salt. We could buy some salt, though. And they only use 1 salt each turn. I wouldn't be able to retrain him for a little while, though, because that's a lot of tools. That said, this guy is going to be producing 10 food a turn that way? Can I get tooltip on this, please? No? We had this tooltip with the profession screen open before, didn't we? I'm currently eating 12.6 food, so he almost takes care of our food needs by himself if we get him some salt. And in fact, if we buy him some salt and then get him drunk, he can be doing it all. Yeah, all right. Let's research Briners. Alright, is it finally time? It is finally time to have a guild master. I'm so excited, you guys. Alright, you have to get down here and... I mean, we gotta make it all the way to this bandit camp. It's probably gonna be best to go north. I think that the path that drew for him doesn't account for the fact that it takes a really long time to move through rivers. So we probably are better off going through the woods south of the river. Trying to limit that impact. Okay, just making sure. Well, we have a lot of gathering and reaping resources over here already exposed. We're good on food for like a really long time. So if we do this briner thing, the value of this is not in really just producing way more food. It's in being able to pull a bunch of people off of food production, right? Hunters can become... Actually, do I want to just grab the berries instead of identifying? No, I want to identify. People can become... People who are currently on hunting can become, like, watchmen. People who are on gathering can become, I don't know, other stuff. Identify this. These guys come up here and identify this animal. Like, this area is pretty resource heavy. It doesn't get us the stone, but we can use a watchtower for that. That is a weird question. You're not gonna... Okay, no, you're afraid of fire. You're not thinking about starting some fires. Fair enough. Well, I think I want to stop using parchment for a little while. Let it build up until we're close to 25. So for the next 2 turns, we're just producing treasure. No sense in retraining anyone as a briner until we actually have the salt. Although, he's also doing literally... Oh, sorry, this guy's the one. Yeah, he's doing literally nothing right now. Ah, well, I don't have the tools anyway. Yeah, treasure's fine. Treasure's fine. Okay. So metalworking. We're gonna need steel makers, right? Is there any other way to get steel? There isn't, right? Nope, steelmaking is the only way to do this. We're going to need a source of coal. So either we have to find a coal mine or like a peat bog or something, or we have to pursue the professions that allow us to do that by burning wood. That's a thing we can do, right? Is that... Oh yeah, it's up here. It's in metalworking. Okay. Okay, absolutely doable. We are now producing 27 treasure per turn. I mean, that's only because we picked the make treasure option for our settlement this turn, but it's still pretty good. Crocus has a message for you. His approach is now cocky. Man, whatever. Maybe this game we're going to see a reason to actually build some military. Maybe they will give us reason. Alright, why don't you sit here and forage for a minute? And I really need to deal with this bandit camp. It looks like it's just going to produce... Actually, you know what you should do is dig in, because I think that guy's coming for you. The archer is on the way. Sort of. I mean, it's going to be... it's still going to be a second. Alright, let's have a look here. Well, I probably want to buy some of this salt. Steel armor is still not available, but steel weapons are. What do we want to sell? Let's go ahead and buy all the salt we can buy. And by that I mean all of the salt. Let's sell a little bit of stuff. Maybe we hold off on buying steel weapons this time. We can sell some... We don't want to sell tools. That's right. I actually need all the tools we have right now. We can sell off all the alcohol. We made some pretty good money on that. Buy all of the salt. And then if we just buy... caravans are guaranteed to have salt, right? Yeah, this was not a special thing. We don't actually need a salt deposit. If we're using 1 salt per turn, we get caravans more frequently than every 15 turns. Yeah, okay. And then we'll just not buy steel weapons this time. You need to become a brighter as soon as that is possible to do. It'll be 2 turns. Was the caravan selling tools? Can we just make it happen now? Caravan's totally selling tools. We really only need the amount that we can afford. Hey, that's handy. So yeah, he's going to deal with most of our food supply in a pretty sustainable way. And we're going to keep gaining clans, so we're going to keep needing more food. But it's a good start. Alright, the perceptive and attentive clan Aaron has come to visit. Good at identifying deposits, and you prevent crimes on your tile. Well, I think you want to be settled, right? Okay, I'm a villain, sure. I've heard that before. Not saying you're wrong. Get identify in here. So we're going to know what this is pretty soon. Yeah, I feel like moving our society over in this direction is starting to look pretty alright. So we don't have a really good sense of how large the map is. We are clearly limited in our scrolling ability by the territory that we have explored. The map could be huge. We have no idea where anything is. Like, basically, we have no idea where Rome is, and there's no way for us to, as far as I can tell, no way for us to, like, gather clues about that or anything. So, yeah, we're just headed toward that Magister Militum victory again. Maybe we will stumble on Rome. If we do, then we can at least think about the other, taking the other path. So what do we want to identify now? I kind of want to identify this mineral deposit next, I think. Starting to get a little colder. We gotta be wary about that. So, Clan Aaron, what do I want to do with you? We're gonna need somebody to be a steelmaker at some point. Don't know if that's a right now sort of thing, though. I want you to be something that stays in the settlement. He could just become our steelmaker, right? That might not be the most important thing we could do. Does the gregarious guy prevent crimes? Yes. Okay, so we don't actually need him to stay in here and prevent crimes. We just need one of them around. And this guy's not going anywhere. So you could be something else. I can make you a surveyor. Oh, but we don't have the tools for that. We could start training him up in that profession. I'm just thinking, like, his bonus to the speed of revealing tiles would be useful. There's a lot of stuff that I want to reveal right now. Yeah, I'm thinking if we end up putting the settlement somewhere over here to take advantage of all of the plants and stuff, and then we build a watchtower over in this area to get these things, that could be pretty good. The watchtower area is pretty far away from the other players, so I'm not that worried about it getting raided. I think I'm going to start training him for surveying. We are pretty close to the amount of parchment that will allow us to settle our kingdom. I'm not saying that we necessarily are right on the cusp of actually doing that, but it's at least a thing we can be thinking about. So we definitely want to put one more. Yeah, I want to put one more of those into you because I'm not ready to train you yet anyway. And this is only one parchment? Yeah, that's not a big deal. You guys need to encamp. It has gotten kind of slightly cold, so of course it is horrible to move anywhere. You can hang out and eat these berries for a turn. Alright, we are going to have steel armor smiths and steel weaponsmiths eventually. We don't necessarily need steel toolsmiths, because we only need 10 steel tools to actually get our whole machine online, so we could just buy those from the caravan, potentially. So if we skip that part, if we skip that phase, let's see here. We can make a more effective toolsmith, but it would require steel to train them. What else would we want? And I still, honestly, a lot of what we still need is bodies. We don't have a super easy way of getting this going, because it's going to require, what, 15 fine cloth? What does it take to ennoble somebody? Ah, this was the thing we needed armor for. So it's going to be 20 fine cloth to train one of these guys, because we need the clan to be ennobled first. That said, ennobling is itself a fame generator. Alright. And it looks like I was researching this earlier. This is the thing I switched off of, not the priest upgrade, I guess. Okay, good. It's winter. Hooray. That dude did not, in fact, come after us. Well, stop digging in. Get ready to do something actually useful. It'll take me an hour to move over to that bandit camp. I do like the way that the resources actually affect the supply of the tile. That's pretty neat. Alright, you can now become our second surveyor. Yeah, we're definitely going to want to pull some people in and retrain a little bit. Part of the beautiful thing about the food thing is that our salt guy... Huh. Lost due to ingredient shortage. It looks like our salt guy's not actually... Our briner's not actually making food. Because we haven't spent any of the salt. He produces 10 food from 1 food and 1 salt each turn, but he's not actually doing it. And all we need is food and salt. It doesn't have to be a particular type of food or... Huh. Why are you not working? There's no, like... There's no thing on him that gives us any indication either. Well, it would be really cool if he would make food. It's not like... It's not critical just yet. What? Okay, hold on. So a conversion deficit of 1 food. Right, that's the 1 food that we're paying to make him work. But we're paying that food, but we're not getting the benefit from paying it, but we're still paying it? Lost due to ingredient shortage. Maybe we're just experiencing a bug here. It looks to me like this should be working. Alright, well... is there something else that we could turn him into in the interim? We don't have a source of coal yet. He could become a tiller, I suppose. Ah, but he only doubles production from farms as a tiller. You can make him a bread maker. We're not currently bringing in wheat or barley, but we could be. We could change that. Man, I really don't want to go into a tool-expensive retraining when he should just be working now. And if we got some upgrades for him, like... I'm going to research an upgrade to that. I'm not clear why he's not working. And he hasn't worked at all. Will he only work if we have spice or salt income? That's not how it should go. Are you going to call me a villain? Yeah, okay. That's whatever. We've identified a huge grove of grapes. And also a large herd of cattle. This is looking more and more like the kind of place we want to settle down, doesn't it? Like, yeah, look at this. Like, there's some kind of mineral over here that maybe is cool. You know, who knows? You can't prove it's not cool. Do I want you to just start hunting? I guess so. I guess we need food. We shouldn't, but we do. So... you could back off and discover these things. You can come over here. I think identifying this is more interesting because I think I'm more inclined to settle in that lower direction. This space over here looks really good to me. I don't know exactly where we would settle, but somewhere around there I think is where we're aiming for. And I think that's probably actually going to happen next turn. Or not next turn, next video. I think we're going to move over and try to kingdom out. That'll help with our fame as well. Yeah, so, where do I want to send this guy first? Hey, we gotta identify all these mineral deposits. We have to find ourselves a source of coal, and it would be better, I think, if our source of coal was the ground, rather than us having to spend multiple clans gaining timber and then converting the timber, right? Yeah, okay, so, what do we want to be doing in the settlement right now? Well, what I most want to be doing in the settlement right now is continuing to produce treasure? Is that right? That might be right. We're already over the 25 parchment. Do I actually just want to pick up now and start moving? I'm feeling fairly confident about it. So, making a kingdom extends your borders by 2. Your borders are naturally 2. So if we were to put down, like... I would want these deposits in range. So let's say we go, like, 1... And there's honey there, too, right? Yeah. So, like... 1, 2, 3, 4. We can make the settlement here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I can't quite grab that, but it could grab this and the cows and those berries. We'd settle a little further down, since we can't get the mineral deposit anyway. I think maybe this is the time to just pick up and go. Well, maybe winter is not the best time to be moving, though. We're going to lose our settled professions, at the very least, while we're moving. I think I remember it being the case that we had to retrain everybody once we arrived. Which is, again, if that's true, even more of an incentive not to be particularly nomadic, because settled professions are so very powerful. Maybe we want to wait through the winter, get our next clan in the door, and then go? But if the next clan is going to be something that we want to train in a settled profession, then it doesn't actually help us to let them join in. And actually it hurts us because they're eating the whole time we're traveling. I think let's pick up. We know approximately where we're going. By the time we get over there, we will know better. And the faster we do it, the earlier we start benefiting from the increased fame. Could be a harsh winter. Alright, and actually, I think this is probably a good place to end it. I just realized what time it is. So, that is going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time when we settle down, create our kingdom, and really get underway toward having all the weapons and armor we need. And we'll see you then.